Hey, it's me, your boy Blue Getsuga, and today I'll be going over Prank Kids for my Yu-Gi-Oh! Tier analysis video. Prank Kids are a fun deck that came out in the Reigns era and even had the potential to be meta material. Of course, this deck has a lot of weaknesses for a potentially meta deck, but I actually like this deck, and I like the art styles as well as the play style. This deck is really fun. Anyways, for the pros, we have it can chain block like no one's business. So you can actually get around strike, even though they could technically just strike your link summon and, ruin your fun and ruin your entire day. But yeah, this deck can chain block like no one's business. This can pop off and create so much advantage just off of 2 cards, mainly 2 monsters. It has amazing boss monsters. I mean, granted, I want to say amazing, but it's like they're just good. And they have great recycling because this deck has like multiple built-in Pot of Avarices, which is nice. And it's versatile. I mean, this deck overall is pretty good, but here's the cons. And the cons usually stems from Prank Kids getting hit indirectly on the ban list all the time, which kind of sucks because that just seals this deck's fate of it being, meta relevant. Or, yeah, it just seals the deck's fate of being meta relevant again. Anyways, for cons, Solemns destroy this deck, and all the Solemn cards are at 3. So, that's not fun. Called by the Grave is a commonly used card, which also counters this deck. And that was one of the reasons why I wasn't worried about Prank Kids early on, even when they were receiving their fame. I mean, their short-lived fame. Because cards because they're pretty easy to deal with despite actually being really powerful. I would actually argue that this deck is a pretty fair deck. It's pretty fair and pretty powerful at the same time. Anyways, aside from that, this deck can brick because you need to summon 2 Prank Kid monsters in order to pop off. If you don't have Poly, or if you don't have Poly and a Prank Kid, or if you don't have your Fusion Spell and a Prank Kid, or an Insta Fusion and a Prank Kid, you're kind of out of luck. You're kind of out of luck. The best you could do is probably set a Solemn or Storming Mirror Force. Hopefully keep 1 monster on the field until you can get to another one, which is very unlikely since you only have 12 monsters in the deck, and your field spell, I guess, counts as an additional 3 monsters. Anyways, you lost 2 terraforming, meaning that you won't have your 4 copies of Prank Kid Place, and you lost 2 of your Insta Fusion on the ban list, which really sucks. Because, this deck was already struggling even with 3 Insta Fusion, but it just keeps receiving indirect hits, kind of sealing this deck's fate. So it was even more inconsistent and more bricky. All in all, I'll say this deck is still it's a fine deck. I would say it's like tier 3 or tier 2.5. It's pretty up there as far as tier 3 decks go, but I'm going to be generous and say it's a tier 2.5 deck. Because once this deck gets rolling, it really gets rolling. And it can actually be it can be a very, very fun and powerful deck. And actually has a great matchup against certain decks now. Assuming that it can actually get 2 monsters on the field and pop off. Which is very hard to do without 2 of their terraformings and losing 2 Insta Fusion, which really, really sucks. Anyways, tell me what you guys think about Prank Kids, and tell me what kind of decks would you like to see me talk about next. Anyways, this is me, your boy Blue Getsuga, and I'm out.